Hi, I'm Andrew Angel. We're going to be doing our 6 exercises for the first mesocycle of our training program. Our goal of the program is to increase muscular strength. First exercise is going to be suitcase carry. Take one hand, thread it through the kettlebell, take hold of the other, come back up with a strong posture, nice proud chest. You're going to keep your scapulars retracted, chin slightly tucked, shoulders in line with your hips. And we're going to walk for 3 sets of about 45 seconds. If you want to make this a little easier, we're going to do a farmer's carry. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult, suitcase carry one hand, bring the other kettlebell up into a shoulder press, and maintain that for all 3 sets. Next exercise is going to be a front squat. We're going to keep our feet about shoulder width apart, bring the kettlebells up just underneath your chin, scapulas retracted, bend at the knees, flex at the hips, press up into full extension. If you want to make this easier, we're going to do a body weight squat, hands out in front, bend the knees, come up into full extension. If you want to make this more difficult, we're going to place a resistance band around our feet. This is going to force internal rotation of the hip, and we have to resist. Take your kettlebells, bring them up just underneath your chin, bend the knees, flex the hip, come up into full extension. Doing 3 sets of 12 for those. The next exercise is going to be our bird dogs. For our bird dogs, you're going to be on your hands and knees. You want your hands just underneath your shoulders, knees just underneath your hips. Keep that left leg back in full extension like you're starting a motorcycle. Bring that right arm up like you're reaching something off the top shelf. Retract your elbow to your knee, make full contact. Go back into full leg extension, full arm flexion. If you want to make this easier, you can do a single limb at a time. Kick that left leg back, full extension, return to original position, and then do the arm into full flexion. If you want to make this more difficult, you can take a resistance band, place one end around our foot, take the other end around our opposite hand, go into our original position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, kick that left leg out in full extension, bring that right arm into full flexion. Next exercise is going to be our Romanian deadlift. For the bird dogs, we're doing 3 sets of 12 on each side. Romanian deadlift, we're doing 3 sets of 12. Feet about hip width apart. Slight bend of the knees, retract the scapulas, hinging at the hips like your butt's going back towards the wall. Once your chest is parallel, you come up into full extension. Contracting your glutes at the top. If you want to make it easier, take one kettlebell only. Sit those hips back, slight bend in the knees, come back up into full extension. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can do a single leg. All the weight's going to be on my right foot. My right knee slightly bent. Retract the scapula. Chin slightly tucked. Left leg's going into full extension. Acting as my lever till my chest hits parallel. Coming back up into full extension. Next, we're going to be doing our push-ups. 3 sets of 12 again. We want our feet together, toes together, heels together. Hands just underneath our shoulders. Lowering ourselves down by flexing at the elbows. Pressing back up into full extension. If you want to make this easier, you bring your knees in contact with the ground. Make sure your hips are in line with your shoulders. Lower yourself down by flexing the elbows. Press back up into full extension. If you want to make this harder, I'm going to take a resistance band around our wrists. Feet together, toes together, heels together, hips in line with shoulders. Flex at the elbows, lowering yourself down. Press up into full extension. Once we hit full extension, our left arm is going to go out to the side. Come back towards the center. Lower yourself down. Press back up. Right hand's going laterally out to the side. Coming back to the center. Final exercise is going to be our bent over row. For our bent over row, you want your feet about shoulder width apart. Hinge at the hips with your knees slightly bent. Once your chest is parallel to the ground, you retract the scapulas, flex at the elbows, come back in full extension. If you want to make this easier, we're going to stagger our stance. This will lessen the angle at which our hips can hinge. Retract the scapulas, flex at the elbows, come back into full arm extension. If you want to make this harder, we're going to go single leg. All the weight's on my right foot, hinge at the hips, bring your chest parallel to the ground, retract the scapulas, flex at the elbows, come back into full extension. For those last 2 exercises, we're doing 3 sets of 12.